welcome everyone. Welcome everybody to our Sisterhood class. I hope everyone had a Baruch week. Glad everyone could make it on tonight. So first I'm gonna ask, have everyone had a safe week, a Baruch week? Did everyone get through there? Well, obviously everyone's here, so that means that Yahuwah got you through it. Any praise reports? Anybody have a praise report? Anybody want to give esteem and honor to the Most High in this Yom, on this evening? I just want to give all praise and honor, all Yadah, to Abba Yahuwah today for once again waking us up, for once again getting us through another week, for once again guarding and girding us through all the craziness that's going on in the world. And no matter what, he continues to keep us. So we're going to open up with Palau, Abba Yahuwah to the Rabbah, for continuing to keep your daughters, for again bringing us together in the Kad to fellowship, Abba Yahuwah. We ask that you just continue to cover your daughters, no matter where we are, that you may put your Ruach HaKodesh, your spirit of protection, amongst each and every one of us, Abba Yahuwah, and that you just continue to keep your daughters, keep your children. We all are so grateful and honor Abba Yahuwah that you chose us to wake us up as your nation, as your people, as your daughters, as your Yeladim, as your children. And Abba Yahuwah, we're just asking that you continue to use us as vessels to spread your message and your Basora to the Rabbi Abba Yahuwah, Bahasham Yehusha Hamashiach, Amana, Amana. So welcome, ladies. Sister Marka has opened up the presentation, the PowerPoint for us. Could all you ladies see the presentation, the PowerPoint that's open?
Yes, sister, I see it.
Are you able to see it? Okay,
Yes, ma'am.
awesome. So welcome to our class, TLOJAF. Ladies, we are recruiting. So if you know anybody, if you know any sisters, if you have a sister, a cousin, an aunt, a niece, your mother, your grandmother, daughter, anybody or friend, an acquaintance perhaps, who you think this could benefit, who might be interested in something like this, definitely invite them. Definitely let them know that we have the Sisterhood class. We are recruiting currently. All right, so if they want to join, they could email us at TLOJAF777, that's TLOJAF777 @gmail.com. All right. So we are looking for strong sisters who are dedicating and liberating, uniting our sisters in the struggle. And we must build teachers. We must build righteous mentors to give guidance to our sisters in the nation. All right. We are under the leadership of a national president, Nasi Nasir X. All right. And that's the email once again. T as in Thomas, L as in love, O as in Oscar, J as in Jeffrey, A as in Apple, F as in Frank, 777, the number of completion, @gmail.com. All right.
I've invited like 10 people, but I'm just waiting.
All right. And also, I do check the email every couple days, so I'll be checking the email again just to make sure. Okay.
All right.
To make sure nobody has reached out. All right. So it's hosted by myself, Sister Rinnah, I'm the National Minister of Education. So this is our Sisterhood class, and we're here every Thursday, which is 7 p.m. Central Time, which is also 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, okay? All right, so our mission statement. And so now the mission is for the straightening of our nation and community and the edification for living set apart, as well as breaking generational curses and old patterns. And again, we're under the leadership of our national president, Nasi Nasir X. All right. Once again, ladies, I've mentioned this last time, but once again, will inform everyone we are having a fundraising going on currently. We have a fundraising currently going on, which was started by our one and only national president, Nasir X. And so the goal that we're trying to achieve is to raise $3K. And that is for our brothers and sisters in Jackson, Mississippi, who, if you guys, well, you gals don't know, we are having this fundraiser because of the fact that our brothers and sisters in Jackson, Mississippi, they're having a problem with their water. The water is as black as tar. It's not drinkable, it's not bathable. And we're doing what we can to at least make sure that they get clean drinking water. So we've already raised a significant amount. We're not 100% to our goal, but we raised quite a bit. We had quite a few donors that have donations and donors who have supported the cause. So we will be giving away 5 cases of 24 packs of drinking water to those who are in need of clean drinking water. Your help means everything. So together we are stronger, divided, we fall. Okay, so we're weaker, divided, together. We put all our, resources together to help our brothers and sisters, and together we are forced to be reckoned with. All right, so we all want to make sure we're doing what we can to help one another out when in need, right? So if you can, also I probably can put the link to the GoFundMe in the chat. If not, I could probably put it, I believe Sister Marka put it already in the Signal chat, but if not, we could always just put it again. I mean, if she did, we could put it again. So yes, please, anything will help. Anything can help, big or small, everything helps, okay?
Also, Sister Rinnah, check your inbox, your Facebook inbox. There's an update on it.
There's an update?
Yes.
Okay. All right, just a minute, All right, so our national president just sent me a message saying the update for Jackson, Mississippi is that the Line of Judah Armed Forces will be down in Jackson, Mississippi, October 7th, 2022 to October 8th, 2022. There will be over 4,500.
Sister Rinnah, can you get close to the computer? We can't hear you. It's like you're far away.
Okay, my apologies. All right, just a minute. So, okay, where were we? I don't know what's going on, Salaki. Can you hear me better now?
Yes.
Okay, so the update for Jackson, Mississippi, our national president, Nasir X, sent me a message saying the Line of Judah Armed Forces.
Still can't hear you.
No,
it sounds distorted, kinda.
it sounds
Yeah.
let me see something.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if that was because I was in the. All right, just a minute. All right, can you ladies hear me? Or still distorted?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yeah, it's better. Thank you.
All right. The problem is, hold on just a minute, because I can't. I'm trying to read my my messenger at the same time, but it flips everything around on my camera. That's why. All right, just a minute, ladies. Okay. Can you ladies hear me?
Yes.
Okay. So, update from our national president. As far as our brothers and sisters in Jackson, Mississippi is concerned, the Lion of Judah Armed Forces will be down in Jackson, Mississippi from October 7th to the 8th of 2022. There will be over 4,500 bottles of water given to families and children in need of clean drinking water. There will also be a press conference held as well by our national president.
Sometimes, like, we can't hear you.
I don't know what is going on
You're
today.
still doing the same thing.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. It seems like I have to be on this way. All right, so the update from one more time. So there's going to be we're going to be down in Jackson, Mississippi, and 4,500 bottles of water will be distributed to people, to those in need, and there's going to be a press conference held as well.
It's still
So October 7th through October 8th of 2022, okay? So that's the update we received from a national president. All right. All right. I don't know. I think my allergies are killing me. My eyes are burning right now. Okay. So, oh, by the way, is Sister Katrina here or no? I don't know if Sister Katrina is on the line, but our Sister Katrina here is the National Minister of Youth, and there will be a youth development class, youth extravaganza, and that will be Wednesday, September 28th. That will be at 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. And it will be at 1513 South Washington Ave in Clearwater, Florida. So this is free to the local children. They will have video games, tetherball, children bounce house, horseshoe, etc., giveaways and prizes. All right, they will have hot dogs, chips, ice cream, and more. All right, so there's open enrollment of youth development classes every Wednesday from 6 p.m. to 7:15 p.m. and it's sponsored by Palace of Deliverance, Mother Wendy. There's a number here, it's 727-336-5741. All right, thank you to the Robert, Sister Katrina, for all you do as well. So anybody in the Florida area near Clearwater, this probably is something that, you know, you could benefit from if you have children or know any children who could probably attend. It's open, it's free to local children. So yeah, September 28th, okay? 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. on Eastern time. All right. Sister Marka, may you go into the next slide, please? All right, so this is our logo for this TLOJN Sisterhood, Daughters of Zion Sisterhood class. So our topic for today, kind of interesting. Well, it is interesting, not kind of interesting.
Sometimes your voice is going out and stuff. I don't know.
I wonder if I go in and come back on, will it fix the problem? But I don't want it to end the call. Let me see if it might. You're the host, so let me see if that's possible for me to do. It might fix the issue. I just don't want it to mess up anything. Well, you're the host. It might not. Let me see. Okay. I'm gonna go on and go off and come back on, and I'm just hoping it doesn't kick the call off though.
Okay.
But you're the host, so it shouldn't. All right, let's see. Okay, I'm back. I think everyone's still here. Excellent. Everyone's still here. Sister Marco, you still here?
Yes, I'm still here.
You're still the host, I believe, too. Yeah, you're still host. Excellent. Because it gave me a choice to reclaim host or stay participant. So I'm still participant while you remain the host. So that's great. All right, so our topic for today is this audio better
Yes.
or still the same? Okay, great. All right, thank you to the Rabba. So ladies, can you see here in the PowerPoint, the logo? This is our logo for the Daughters of Zion Sisterhood, the TLOJAF. This is our logo. The sisters with the head coverings and the menorah. You know, that's a sacred symbol for us in Yasharah. And then Israelite Migration Dispersal, that's our topic. Okay, so we're gonna talk about how our people have been dispersed all around the world. You know, the people of Yah, the Israelites, the chosen nation. We're gonna discuss that. We're gonna do some readings, historical stuff. And also, yeah, we'll look at how they were dispersed around the world and how the migration patterns occurred as well, okay? So we'll touch on that. So we could just get a clear understanding and clarity on how our people would just move from place to place and how we're all over the world in the four corners of the earth, the four corners of the Eretz. All right, so I think there's one more slide, Sister Marka. Thank you. And then we'll jump into our readings and stuff, our articles. And I downloaded from I don't know if you ladies heard of From Babylon to Timbuktu. I downloaded that book because I have a scribe membership and I was able to download that. And I put some of those slides of the book in the presentation so we can go over some readings with that as well. All right, so I just have this verse here, which is Isaiah or Yeshayahu 11:11, as it pertains to our topic of dispersal. Anybody want to read this verse? I made it a little easier today so that we didn't have to go on the website. I just put the Bible verse here within the PowerPoint. And it shall come to pass that in that day that Yahuwah shall set his hand again, the second time, to recover the remnant of his people who are left. It's going to be a remnant of people who are left, even out of the Israelites, okay? Not many shall remain. Many will be destroyed, but 2/3. 2/3. So even those who are of the lineage, not everybody will make it. Not all will repent. Some will still remain in their wicked ways and still refuse to turn back to the Most High. So there is a remnant from all across the world. All right, to recover the remnant of his people who are left from Assyria and from Egypt, that is Mizraim, and from Pathros, and from Cush, and from Elam, and from Shinar, and from Hamath, and the islands of the sea. So these are just all different parts of the world that the children of Yasharal, the Israelites, have been dispersed to, okay? The children of Yaakov, the children of Yahuwah, have been dispersed, have migrated. We had different slaveries that has taken place that has placed our people all over the world. We had migration patterns that occurred that have placed our people all over the world. So we're not just in one location, we are just spread out all throughout the earth, okay? To the Rabbah, Sister Malka. To the Rabbah. Alrighty, so here. Now, Sister Malka, I thought you might find this a little interesting because this does talk about the Bantu, our Israelite brothers and sisters of the the Bantu tribes all around the world, or in Africa particularly. So the Bantu heritage, okay? So this is talking about the Bantus, the Bantu Israelites, okay? So it says, the greatest evidence there is about our identity is the people themselves, all right? It says, we are the greatest evidence there is. Each tribe's languages and each tribe's Bantu, man and woman, are the greatest evidence of all time. Regardless of a few habits we have adopted here and there, as we migrated from one place to the other, the Bantu culture and the traditions remains the one and only culture solely built on the laws and statutes of Yah, Nazambi. Now I know Bantu's Malka's one, Congolese Bantu from DRC, Democratic Republic of the Congo. Also know other Bantus. I know some from South Africa. I know Zulu. I know Xhosa. I can't say the click right now. Xhosa. I know some from Angola. I know some from Cameroon. So there's Bantus from all different parts of Africa. A common theme I noticed with the Bantus is they say that they have remained a lot of their traditions and the culture and the customs of the Israelites. So that's a telltale sign. A lot of the Bantu languages also bear striking resemblance with ancient Hebrew. So that's another telltale sign. A lot of their tongues, Bantu languages or Bantu tongues are related tongues in a related language family. So within these language families, they bear striking similarities to the ancient Hebrew. A lot of the words, we'll look at that as well, okay? So it says, as they migrated from one place to another, the Bantu culture and the traditions remains the one and only culture solely built on the laws and statutes of Yah Nazambi. This is what they call the Most High. Our original customs are unchangeable and irrefutably biblical, from Zulu and Shona in Southern Africa to Congo, and you might have to help me with this one, Kinyarwanda Hutu in Central Africa, from if I'm butchering the names, Bamliki and the Douala in Western Africa, to the Kiswahili and Kikuyu in Eastern Africa, over 600 tribes. The Kikuyu I know in Kenya, okay? Over 4 million speakers and about 40% of African population, and most of the people, hold on just a second, I just got lost here. It said, and most of the people taken during the Arab and European slavery today, over 500 million of the people sharing one direct ancestry, one cultural heritage, one, I don't like the word God, I say one Elohim, and one language with the same family. Our traditional ways of life are very biblical, from traditional male circumcision to marriage ceremonies, from birth rituals to funeral practices, from food consumption to food production, from childhood to maturity responsibilities, from a monotheistic people to respect a relationship between families, from brother to brother, sister to sister, and from indigenous Black nations. Oh, I skipped something. From young to elders and from male to female, unlike other Africans. I'll explain that later too. And indigenous Black nations. It says the naming of newborn is often related to life, circumstances, just like our forefathers, and our languages are the greatest and most important part of our heritage as proof of our continuing existence of passed down from one generation to another. From young age, traditionally, we are taught the laws and the commandments by our parents and elders and all the do's and don'ts of our people. Even without the knowledge of us being Israelites and before colonialism and slavery, we were always taught what is sin in the eyes of the Creator of all things, and what's not due to Christianity. Wait, it says, hold on just a second. I just got lost here. It says, we are always taught the do's and the don'ts of our people. Even we're always taught what is sin in the eyes of the Creator of all things, and what's not. Due to colonialism, most of our customs have been demonized by the West. Through Christianity, Islam, and other African traditional religions, which could, oh my goodness, I think I have allergies, excuse me, y'all. Which conditioned most of our people to reject who we are, reject our culture, which is based on laws and commandments of Nizambi, and assimilate to the ways, mostly evil ways. Just a minute, I think, oh my goodness, my eyes are really watering. These allergies are kicking my behind. Just a minute, ladies, hold on. My eyes are watering up. Oh my goodness. Okay. Excuse me, I might have to get something for these allergies. It's about that season. It's about that season. My eyes started to get really itchy and watery and just irritated. All right, where were we, ladies? So this is saying that these Bantu Israelites, they always remained the traditions. They always remained the Israelite and the Hebrew traditions, the customs, the circumcisions, the way they eat. They always remain, all the customs remain in their culture. Even if they didn't know that they were Israelites per se, those customs still carried on within the culture, within the Bantu tribes culture. However, due to the West, the European nations, America, they demonized a lot of these practices. Okay, and a lot of the Bantus and other Africans, but we're talking about Bantus now, they wound up adopting other religions that our people was not of our people. Islam, Christianity, other religions that had nothing to do with our people. Okay, so those deities of wood and stone, all right? Christianity, Islam, two of the most biggest religions that a lot of our people adopted in place of our original spiritual system. Okay, these allergies are kicking my butt. If any of you ladies want to read, feel free, let me know, and you can jump in. All right. So then they say, although we've been able to cover a few articles on the fact that most people were shipped to the Americas were Bantu speakers, it says there's a fake Western narrative that's been going around directing everyone to West Africa. So they're saying that, yeah, there were some of our people who did come from West Africa, but there are some of our people also who also were shipped from the Bantu nations. And the Bantu nations also can be found in like Southern Africa, Eastern Africa as well. But the focus is not put on Central, Southern, Eastern Africans as much as us having a link to them, is more focused usually based in Western African tribes. So here it's saying, even though, yeah, we do have links to West Africa as well, they leave out that we also have links to the Bantu tribes as well. Okay. For some reason, they usually leave out the Bantu countries. It says, so mainly Ghana, Nigeria. Keep in mind, you can't honestly expect the same people that stole you and exploited you to tell you the truth about who you are and which people they snatched you from. All right. It says there's so much evidence now which you can't simply ignore. As it's been recorded that most slaves arriving in America spoke a Bantu language and mainly Kikongo. That's interesting. And keep in mind that there were also, as we know, there were people who wound up in places like Brazil and places like other parts of Latin America and places like Haiti, Cuba, Puerto Rico, Dominican Republic, Colombia, Jamaica, Trinidad and Tobago, the Bahamas. So it wasn't just the US of A as we know it today. There were also the Caribbean and Latin American countries as well, where a lot of our people are, okay? So not just America as we know today. Okay. It said they spoke mostly Kikongo. And what's interesting, I also noticed, I don't know, Sister Malka, if you were aware of this, that remember there were some people, some freedmen and former slaves who went to Liberia. The country of Liberia was actually founded by quote unquote Black American people. Now you had your native tribes in Liberia, West Africa, and then you have your Americo-Liberians, which are the people who, like I said, the freemen and former slaves who went over to Liberia. The first president of Liberia, the country known as Liberia today, was a quote unquote Black American man, right? So there was a civil war that had erupted to American Liberians and the native tribes in Liberia. But do you know that in Liberia, and actually a Liberian cab driver had told me this. He said that in Liberia, they call the Americo-Liberians the Congo people. So yeah, that's what they refer to the Americo-Liberians as, the Congo people. I find that very interesting too. Okay, it says we also notified the early massive presence of Bantu in Western Africa out of Egypt migration, and a remarkable migration prior and during slavery in sub-Saharan Africa, also why West Africa was considered Negro/Bantu/Congo homeland up until the end of slavery. Okay. This meaning most Bantu were sold migrating southwards, fleeing from the traders. All right. It says, we also highlighted that West Coast of Africa has been reported to have more slave tribes in West Africa today. Now today we got another strong evidence to back up our effortless claim that the majority of slaves in the Americas were Bantu speakers. It said our brother from Haiti, who's a Creole speaker, shared a tremendous job demonstrating similarities between Caribbean languages and Bantu languages. Mainly Kikongo, and his work is mind-blowing. Now keep in mind that most Black people in the Americas wouldn't know this. They wouldn't know this truth because most of the hidden information is either in French or Portuguese. That's part of the reason they balkanized Africa, to create a complete confusion The post below was originally in French, and we translated it to English for you to read. Enjoy. So this talks about the Congo Creole heritage. It says, we have been taught that Creole comes from mainly, why did it stroll down like this? All right, it says, we have been taught that Creole comes from mainly French, but it is logical that an ear that understands only French cannot hear the Congo heritage in this language. So it talks about the grammar. Sister Marka here talks about Lingala. All right, it talks about the Congo language. Sister Marka, you might have to help me with this. Let me know if I'm mispronouncing anything. Mama na nagai equals my mother, literally mother of me. And Guadalupe,
you're supposed to say Mama Nangai.
Mama nagai. Mama
Yeah.
nagai, my mother, literally mother of me. If I'm butchering anything, please feel free to step in. This is
Okay.
Marka's native tongue, so you know she would be great at recognizing these words. So then they have the Guadalupe and Creole. Guadalupe is a French, well, it's a Caribbean island with our people also, but it was colonized by the French. So they speak French and they also speak Creole tongue, like Haitians as well. So is this more like, it's Creole? Can you understand this, Sister Marka? And Kaiba'u, I'll hit you. And then Lingala, Nairobi. I'm going to Nairobi.
No, in Lingala it says Nakobeta yo. Nakobeta yo. That means I will hurt you.
Okay. And in Guadalupe and Creole and Key La Puente, I'm going to Point in P3. I'm not a native French speaker or Creole speaker, so anyone who is better with pronouncing these words, feel free to step in. The Lingala one here, are you able to read this, Sister Marka? Is it Nadaka Oyo? Nadaka Oyo? This house, little house, this, it says Guadalupe and Creole, Kazlaza equals this house. And then it has personal pronouns, it has Creole. The people from Martinique, they speak a Creole French and French as well. Man, e, or, wu, you, I, he, she. And then Congo Swahili, it looks like ni, or, I slash he, she, ga, man. Oh, the Ga, I believe, because they have a people in Ghana called the Ga. If I'm not mistaken, the Ga people, some of them speak about being, there's some supposedly between them being tribe of Gad, and Gad is Northern Kingdom, one of the tribes of Yasharal, one of the Northern Kingdom tribes. Then you have the Iwi people, and they are from, I believe, Nigeria. All right. So this is basically, I'm not even going to try to, because I don't want to butcher our brothers and sisters' tongue. But this is basically just going through, you can see some of the similarities here in the tongue. It's just demonstrating here. See? The vocabulary.
Yes, they're basically just showing how similar it is with like Swahili and Lingala, how the words are like written in they kind of written in the same way, and it might be like pronounced differently, but like it's that's how they showing it. Like some of the words are like similar. It goes back to like Kikongo, and it's like we call it the mother of all language, like all tongues, because people in Congo, we believe that Kikongo, all the language was like came from Kikongo, like English, all the language, because it sounds similar when somebody's speaking, you know, Kikongo language. They like, you can hear certain things, certain like words and stuff that, you know, other people might talk in their different languages. So it's like, that's how it's breaking it down.
Right, to the Rabba. So I also remember watching videos, and it was showing the Kikongo and Lingala, and it was just showing how similar it was, showing the ancient Hebrew tongue, the Abri, and it was showing how the words were so similar to each other. I mean, the tongues, and it
Yeah.
was showing how, you know, the Kikongo and the Lingala, it's a derivative of the ancient Hebrew tongue, and it was just showing how our people, wherever they went, they retained some of the heritage within their customs, within their tongues, within their culture. You understand? So within their practices. So these are telltale signs just showing you how wherever the Israelites moved, they kept a lot of those things with them. The only
Yeah.
reason why our people in the West kind of, because we went through a different type of bondage, so we literally had like our tongue beat out of us. You understand? We literally had our names changed. We literally were like beaten for speaking our tongue. We literally like we couldn't, we retained some of it in like the culture and the tongue, but not so much as like our brothers and sisters from the other side of the world, because our captivity was different over here. Our chattel slavery, the chattel slavery we experienced, they like beat it out of us. So there's a lot of things that we did lose with our heritage.
Yeah,
To the
it's also like there's words in like in Lingala where, you know, in Hebrew where you say water, it's the same thing in Lingala. Mai, you say mai is the same thing in Hebrew. So it's like, and there's also a country where, you know, my family are from is called Mbuji Mai. You know, so it's like these are the stuff, like the words, it just, they got it from, you know, our people, you know, we're all the same. That's how you know we're the same people, because of the words that we're using. And Kikongo, it's the words in Lingala, it's like different words they use in, you know, Kikongo and stuff, because Kikongo is like the mother of all languages. So if you're like speaking, you can understand like things, little things, other languages, you can understand it through Kikongo language.
Khan, to the Rabba sister. And then another thing is, you know, I know in Congo you went through slavery as well under the Belgians and King Leopold, and it was horrendous what Leopold did to the Congolese over there. How they cut off their limbs, how they, you know, enslaved them, how they beat them, how they murdered them, you know, genocide. It was absolutely, I mean, all across the
Yeah.
board, what our people went through was horrendous, was horrific. You want to talk about the Arab slave trade? You want to talk about yeah, you had the sub-Saharan slave trade, which a lot of people don't even talk about. That was ran by the Arabs, and that the Arabs were had that slavery on our people before even the European had the slavery on our people. So they both played a hand, and then you had the Indian Ocean slave trade that not a lot of people talk about or know about. We could probably cover that. I probably do a part 2. But the Indian Ocean slave trade with, again, the Bantus. There were a group of Bantus called believe it's pronounced as Zanj or Zanj, Zanj. And they were from like the Tanzania area, that Eastern African area. And the Portuguese, as well as the Arabs, they had sold these Eastern Africans, these Bantus, to the people from India, People from Pakistan, they wound up in Iran, Iraq, so the Middle East. You have our people throughout the Middle East. You have our people throughout India. You have our people through Pakistan, Bangladesh, Sri Lanka. In India, they are called the Sidi people, the Sidi tribe. They're East African Bantus who wound up in India. They're African tribe over there. They don't speak their tongue. They still have some of their dance and stuff, but they don't speak their tongue because of the fact that it's the same thing where they lost that culture due to, slavery and everything and being amongst other nations. And they're called the Sidi people. And then you have the Shidi people who are just similar, like kind of similar, but they're in Pakistan. And they speak the tongue for the people there speak. So then you have the Kafar people. They're in Sri Lanka, I believe, and it's the same situation. Sri Lanka, Southern Asia, South Asia. They over there, and they got there because why? Because of Indian Ocean slave trade, where you have the Portuguese, and they were shipping our people over there to Europe and to the to the Middle East. They were shipping them to Middle East and to these South Asian countries. So India, Pakistan, Sri Lanka. So you have, a good majority of our people there as well. Iraq, Iran, Yemen, Saudi Arabia. Some of them are there too. Okay. I didn't include that here with the Indian Ocean slave trade. I kind of like focused on like the Bantus and some people we have in West Africa currently. So maybe in a future event we could talk about the different captivities that happen and how those captivities, how people wind up over there as well. That'd probably be like a spin-off. The captivities that happen with our people and how they wound up dispersed, so like a part 2. Okay, but this is right here just talking about our people within Africa still. Okay. Our people within Africa, yeah, there were actually slaveries that happened, slave trades that made our people wind up in other places as well. Okay. I just want to clear this up because you have a lot of Jakes, okay, a lot of Hebrew Israelites who actually teaching that everyone in Africa is Hamite and they're not our people, and that's simply not true. So we're just gonna clarify, okay? Sister Marco, are you able to go into the article about the Yoruba people? Yoruba people? There you go. So the Yoruba people, they're West Africans from Nigeria. I have a lot of Yoruba people I work with. Cool people, cool people. All right. So if any of you ever seen a 12 tribes chart that a lot of the camps promote, what does it say in the 12 tribes chart? It says the sons of Ephraim are Ephraim, however you want to say it. As you know, Ephraim is a son of one of the sons of Jacob. Well, is a son of Joseph, not Jacob. He's a grandson of Jacob. So as you know, there's 12 tribes. There were 12 sons of Jacob, of Jacob. What happened is the tribe of Dan lost his inheritance. So who replaced Dan was the house of Joseph. Okay. Now Joseph is one of the sons of Jacob. So Joseph had 2 sons. There was Ephraim and Manasseh. Okay. Now Joseph married. The backstory with that is Joseph was sold into, I think Brother Nancy actually covered this recently in his topic last Saturday, that Joseph was sold into slavery by his own brothers, his own jealous brothers. So Joseph grew up in Egypt. Joseph grew up amongst the Egyptians, okay? He was raised amongst the Egyptians. He grew up amongst the Egyptians. He was sold into slavery by his own brothers who envied him, okay, because of how his father took such favor to him. So so you have the sons of Joseph, the Ephraim and Manasseh. Joseph married a Egyptian woman. He was married to an Egyptian woman, and that Egyptian woman and Joseph had two sons named Ephraim and Manasseh. All right, so the Yorubas, this is where the Yorubas come in. All right, so this says the Yorubas are the sons of Ephraim. All right, it says, as stated in many books regarding the Igbos, the father of the Yoruba people, it says, Aladuduwa traveled with Gad's sons, Eri, Areli, and Arodi from North Africa, likely Egypt, and settled it is what today known as Nigeria. So they saying they traveled from Northern Africa to Western Africa. They migrated. Here we talk about the migration patterns, right? People migrate. It's been happening for centuries, okay? And a lot of our people are seafarers. That's what we want to keep in mind as well. So they moved around a lot. Okay, so it says they traveled from North Africa, likely Egypt, and they settled in what is today known as Nigeria. It says this would coincide with Yoruba oral tradition or Yoruba oral history that they believe to come from outside of West Africa. And thus it would be no surprise that we might find Israelites, Hebrews, and Jews among the Yoruba. So now if you had these group of Israelites potentially who traveled from Northern Africa and went into Western Africa. It says Aduduwa was said to be a descendant of Ham through Nimrod, also called Lamurudu. This according to Yoruba Christian Samuel Johnson in 1880. It says Sultan Bello, Caliph of Sokoto, was quoted in 1820 by Hugh Shepperton to have said that the Yoruba people were descendants of a Canaanite tribe, and S.O. Abiku, a Nigerian historian, claimed the Yorubas to originate from the Sudan, or what was known as Kush Ethiopia. So keep in mind when they say Canaanites, also a lot of people of that land in North Africa, that land was called Canaan. The land itself was known as Canaan. So when they say Canaanites, they might also be referring to just that land mass that they migrated from, okay? Not necessarily that they're Canaanites. All right, so it says that the Nigerian historian claimed that the Yoruba originated from Sudan, or what was known as Kush, Ethiopia. However, some say Yoruba is a corruption of the name Jacob or Hebrew, Yaakov. Others assert that Yoruba is from Yorubal, the people against Baal. Now, Baal was a Mesopotamian deity, Babylonian deity that the other nations worship as a sun deity, and they made sacrifices to him, human sacrifices to him, child sacrifices to him. Okay, not a good thing. But it says the current Yoruba Jewish population. Watch out for that word Jewish. They play on words here, but the Judeans, the people of Judah, that's what they mean. But they use the term Jewish to kind of throw us off. Jewish population who claim to come from the Israelite tribe of Ephraim was said to have been driven to Yoruba land from Morocco by Muslims and eventually mingled with Yoruba people. It says these Black Jews in southern Nigeria are called the Imo Yahayim, or strange people, by the native Africans. But these Black Jews call themselves Bani Ephraim, or the sons of Ephraim. So Beni or Bani in Hebrew and Abri means sons. Habini means the sons, okay? So it's saying that these Yoruba people are calling themselves Beni Ephraim, or the sons of Ephraim. This is what they're calling themselves. It says the Jews who claim that their ancestors came from Morocco is supported by their language, which appears to be a mixture of Maghrebi Arab and local Negro speech. Thus, Abu, father, has become Yaba, from the Hebrew word Abba, and mother is M, from the Hebrew. Ima is a Hebrew word for mother, by the way, or Ima. Nevertheless, most of the language is similar to the Yorubas around them. It says these Yorubas, a son of Ephraim, observe certain Jewish, again with that word Jewish, Israelite customs, among them which are the great set apart days, naming of children on the 8th day, etc. In almost every way, these Black Jews are like the Yorubas and are hardly distinguishable from them, except for some outstanding Hebrew observances. Okay. Any of you ladies want to read? We only have one paragraph left anyway. It says, but there is doubt whether any from this group exists today among the Yoruba. Again, they're going to try to mentally mind play us here. There's a clan among the Yoruba people called the EGU, which is believed to be corruption of the word Hebrew or Jew. They are looked down upon by the rest of the Yoruba for displaying Igbo-like character traits. One, which is business proudness. There is even a town in Yoruba land called Ajuyu Igbo. Much of the Ajuyu people resent and deny this connection with them and the Niji Igbo. Okay. That's it for this article, right, Sister Mocha? There's no other pages here. I don't think.
Yes.
Okay. So yeah, I actually have shared this article with the Yoruba brothers and sisters I work with, and they were intrigued by it. But they said they most of the ones I spoke to, I said, do you know about the Israelites? And they said, yeah, we heard about the Israelites. So they had awareness, and they had knowledge of like who the Israelites are, which I find interesting. And then I was just explaining to them, like, you know, you might actually potentially be from that lineage of Israelites. And I shared this information with them, and they were just flabbergasted. They were amazed, they were intrigued. Because once again, you got to remember that a lot of this knowledge was suppressed from our people all over the world. Not just the Black, so-called, quote unquote, Black American men and women, but also others all around the world. The same situation. Okay. So it's the same tune. Everywhere around the world, a lot of our people are just being lied to. I've actually spoken to a lot of brothers and sisters who are from the continent who said they're not even taught much about Black history at all. They're not even taught much about Black history at all. I asked them if they how much they knew about our history here. They were just flabbergasted. They were just like, I was speaking to one Yoruba co-worker of mine, and I asked them, did they know about what occurred here, like the atrocities with the babies being fed to alligators and breaking of the buck, which was the slave masters would actually rape the men bend them over a tree and rape the men in front of their wives and children. And he said, "Sister, are you serious?" I said, "Yeah." So they're not, he said, they don't teach us this. They don't teach us this history. They're learning about European history. They're learning about Greece. They're learning about the Romans. They're learning about everything else but black history, about Aboriginal people's history. You know, the indigenous man and woman all over the world history, the Israelites history, everything else, everyone else history, but our history. So our people all over the world have this thing where we kind of we don't know. You know, we're not aware, we're unaware, we lost touch in many ways of our original culture, who we are. So it is vital that, you know, we study, show thyself approved, study this ancient history to know thyself and remember who you are, remember where we come from, and remember what it is that Abba Yahuwah set out for us to do as a people and as a nation.
Coucou.